The first sound wasn't a gunshot. It was a whisper, low, haunting, and ancient. Somewhere across the frozen water, a mallard answered with a drawn-out quack. Then another joined it, and another. The sky hadn't turned yet, but the marsh was waking up. A silhouette adjusted in the reeds. Camo-wrapped hands gripped a shotgun. The hunter didn't speak, didn't move, just waited. Because in duck hunting, timing is everything. You don't chase the moment, you let it come to you. Then, a flicker in the sky, fast, slicing against the pale dawn. Wings flapped in formation. The hunter exhaled, slowly, and raised the barrel. And in that second, between shadow and flight, silence and shot, you realize something. This isn't just about birds. It's about reading the wind, the water, yourself. It's about tradition, patience, and instinct. It's about learning a language older than words, and finally understanding it. This is duck hunting. And if you're a beginner, welcome to the most unpredictable, humbling, and rewarding kind of hunting on Earth. But here's the thing. Most people think it's simple. Gunbird, boom, breakfast. It's not. There's a reason waterfowl hunters obsess over wind direction, decoy spreads, and shell types. Why they crawl out of warm beds at 3 a.m., drag gear through mud, and sit in icy stillness for hours just to take a single clean shot. Because this isn't just hunting, it's a discipline. So if you've ever thought about picking up a shotgun, pulling on waders and stepping into the reeds, good. But you'll need more than a gun. You'll need knowledge, gear, respect, and the kind of mindset that can outweight a bird with 340-degree vision and instincts honed by migration. In the next 20 minutes, we're going to walk you through everything a beginner needs to know, not just to survive their first duck hunt, but to come back with a story worth telling. From licenses to loadouts, decoys to calling techniques, mistakes to avoid, we'll build you from the ground up. Not like a manual, like a mentor. Because every hunter remembers their first duck, and the ones who do it right, they never forget the sound of that first call, echoing across the water, right before the sky comes alive, before the ducks fly, before the calls echo, before the sky breaks open with wings. You need to ask a harder question. Are you ready? Because duck hunting doesn't begin with a bird in the sky. It begins in the garage, at the gun store, on the loading bench. It begins with decisions, the right gear or a day ruined before it starts. Let's talk guns. For a beginner, the shotgun is the core of everything, but not just any shotgun. You want something reliable, comfortable, built for water, mud, and the kind of early mornings that test your patience. Most seasoned hunters will point you to a 12 gauge. It's versatile, powerful, and handles a wide range of loads. Marsh. When the wind is screaming sideways and birds are flaring off your decoys, you'll want the extra power. Next, action. Pump action, semi-auto, over-under, each has its tribe. Pump action is rugged and affordable, but slower between shots. Semi-autos offer speed, smoothness, and often less recoil, but come at a higher price. If you're just starting, go pump, learn the rhythm, feel every shot, then upgrade when the birds start falling. But gear isn't just hardware, it's what you put in the gun. Federal law says you must use non-toxic shot for waterfowl. That means no lead. Steel is the baseline. It's legal, cheap, but less dense than lead, which means shorter effective range and more margin for error. Other options like bismuth or tungsten hit harder, but cost more. A smart beginner starts with steel and upgrades when they understand the trade-off, cost versus kill zone. Then there's shot size. Not all pellets are created equal. For ducks, number 2 to number 4 steel shot is a common starting point. Big enough to bring down a mallard, small enough for a decent spread. But none of this matters if you break the law. Before you hunt anything, you need a license. And for waterfowl, that usually means a state hunting license, a state waterfowl stamp, a federal duck stamp, completion of a hunter safety course, no exceptions, no shortcuts. This is a privilege, earned, not given. Because if you're going to take a life, even a bird's, you need to understand what that means. Hunters aren't just shooters, they're stewards. And in duck hunting, The law isn't a box to check, it's part of the ethic. And once you have the tools, the ammo, and the paperwork, then you can start thinking about where to go, because the ducks are coming. But only if you're ready. You can have the best gun, the perfect shells, the most expensive decoys. But if you're in the wrong spot, you're just a well-armed spectator. Duck hunting is a game of geography. And if you don't know where the birds are, or why they're there, you're already behind. Let's start with the most critical truth. Ducks move. They follow food, shelter, safety, temperature, wind, and they've been doing it long before you were born. Your job isn't to chase them, it's to intercept. That starts with one word: scouting. Before the hunt ever begins, you should be watching. Driving levees, glassing ponds, scanning skies at sunset. Look for movement, look for patterns. Ducks fly in the morning and evening. Watch those windows like a hawk. But scouting isn't just seeing birds, it's seeing why they're landing there. Are they feeding, resting, roosting? Is there shallow water for dabbling? Are there crops nearby? Corn, rice, wheat? Because where ducks feel comfortable, they come back. And when the weather shifts, so do they. A cold snap up north pushes new flocks south. A warm front keeps them feeding in place. Wind direction determines flight lines. Beginners who ignore this go home with empty shells. Now let's talk location types. Public land, great for beginners. Affordable, accessible, and often teeming with life. And competition. Expect to get up early, hike hard, and stake your claim before others beat you to it. Private land, pricier, but with better control. Fewer hunters, less pressure. Often managed for ducks, with blinds and food plots already set. Flooded timber, marshes, rivers, agricultural fields. Each demands its own tactics, gear, and camouflage. And don't forget legal zones and season dates. Every state is different. Check waterfowl regulations religiously, because nothing ruins a hunt faster than realizing you're 200 yards inside a no-shoot zone on a closed day. A good hunter knows what birds are legal too. Mallards, teal, pintails, widgeons, each with limits and rules. Misidentify, and you're not just wrong, you're illegal. But when you find that perfect spot, when the sky ripples with movement and the water hums with promise, it changes everything. You're no longer guessing, you're in position. And now, it's time to set the trap. You can't outrun a duck, you can't outfly it. But if you're smart, you can outthink it. Welcome to the game within the game. This is the art of the decoy spread. Ducks are social. They flock, they follow. They land where other ducks are already feeding, swimming, or resting. That instinct, to join the group, is your greatest weapon. And to use it, you'll need one word: illusion. Decoys aren't just plastic ducks, they're psychological bait. And when done right, they don't just attract birds, they convince them. But beginners often get this wrong. Too few decoys and ducks stay distant. Too many and they flare off, sensing something's off. Wrong placement, they land out of range. Wrong type, they don't land at all. So how do you build the perfect spread? Let's break it down. Start with numbers. A beginner can work with 12 to 24 decoys. Mallards are the standard choice since they're common and often serve as confidence birds for other species. Add variety if you can. Pintails, gadwalls, maybe a few teal. Ducks notice flocks that look alive. A single species all facing the same way, that looks wrong. Placement is everything. Use the wind. Ducks land into it, always. Set your decoys so that birds approach against the wind, right into your kill zone. A classic spread, the J pattern or U pattern. A hook or horseshoe of decoys with a landing lane open in front of your blind. Give them space to land, don't crowd the center. Movement sells it. Stagnant decoys look dead. That's why hunters use spinning wing decoys like mojos or jerk strings to ripple the water. A little motion goes a long way, but be careful. On late season birds, overuse of motion can scare them off. They've seen it before. Hide the humans. No matter how perfect your spread, if ducks see you, it's over. Camouflage isn't just a jacket, it's the blind, the boat, the face paint, the gear. Blend into your surroundings like a shadow in the reeds. Even reflective watch faces or gun barrels can tip off high-flying birds. Because here's the brutal truth. Ducks are smarter than you think. They've survived thousands of years by spotting threats from 100 feet in the air and 60 yards away. You're not fooling them with half effort. But when it works, when your spread is dialed, the wind is right, the movement natural, and you're invisible, it feels like magic. Wings set, feet drop, beaks angle down, they commit. And for one breathless second, a bird puts its trust in the lie you built. That's your moment, and if you miss it, you don't blame the bird. You go back to the spread, and you make the lie better. You're in position. The marsh is waking. Cold mist clings to your gloves. Your breath fogs in the pre-dawn gray. Decoys dance on the rippling water. Plastic silhouettes mimicking life. Your shotgun rests across your lap, cradled like a promise. Then, wonk, wank, wank. A hen mallard breaks the stillness. Her call cuts through the wind. Not just noise, a challenge, a conversation. Duck calling isn't about mimicry, it's persuasion, deception, invitation. Get it wrong, and you're a fraud. Get it right, and you're family. Welcome in, one of them. Duck calling basics. Forget Hollywood. Duck calls aren't magic wands, they're instruments. Clumsy hands make clumsy sounds. Start simple. A single reed call offers finesse, great for fine control. A double reed is easier, forgiving, beginner-friendly. Don't chase price tags. Some $20 calls outperform fancy brands. What matters is practice, obsession, the core five. The quack. One sharp note, a duck's hello, the greeting. 5 to 7 clear quacks, evenly spaced, friendly but distant, the feed call. A rolling, irregular, ticka ticka ticka. Ducks chattering over breakfast. The comeback. Louder, urgent cadence. Hey, come back. The lonesome hen. Slow, sad, single quacks. The sound of a duck left behind. Irresistible. Master these, and you're dangerous. Not to ducks, but to other hunters who haven't done the work. When to stay quiet. It's tempting to call every few seconds. Don't. If ducks are locked in, wings cupped, feet down, shut up. Let the decoy speak for you. If they circle or flare, use the comeback call, then wait. No begging, just an offer. Practice makes ducks you won't learn in the blind, and no, your neighbor won't enjoy it. Practice at home, in the truck, record yourself. Compare to real birds. Every marsh has its own dialect. Ethical shots only. Not every duck in range is fair game. Shooting too far risks wounding. A clean kill is the only kill that counts. Use your decoys as distance markers, ideally 30 yards or less, never more than 40. Know your angles. Head on, aim for the upper chest. Side shot, lead by 2 to 3 feet. Going away, don't shoot. It's a waste, and often cruel. Take a breath, pick a target. 3 shots max. Spray and pray is for amateurs. If you miss or wound, it'll happen to everyone. But there's no excuse for ignoring it. Track that bird. Watch where it falls. Follow it, over mud, reeds, water, whatever it takes. Dispatch quickly. Suffering isn't sport, it's negligence. A trained retriever is a gift. They find what you can't. They shorten pain. No dog? You're still responsible. Every bird is your duty. Finishing and cleaning, if the bird's still alive in the water, end it fast. Use a finishing shot or a twist method known to hunters. Don't let it drift or drown slowly. At camp, you've got options. Pluck or skin. Plucking keeps fat and flavor, great for roasting. Skinning's faster, easier, better for stews or sausage. Remove organs carefully. Keep things clean. Don't waste what gave its life. Use everything you can. Meat, fat, feathers, for tying flies or crafts. Bones for rich stock. And bury or burn the rest. Never toss in the trash. This was a life, not litter. Photos and respect. Take the photo. You've earned it. But take it right. Clean the bird. Tuck wings in. Close the eyes if you can. Don't pile corpses for glory. One bird, one image. Let your photo say, I hunted with honor. When nothing happens, no ducks, No shots, just wind, just cold. The silence stretches hours long. Your legs go numb. You wonder if this is all just waiting. And it is. This is where duck hunters are forged. The ones who stay in sleet, fog, stillness. Earn the moment when flight breaks the sky. Reading the sky. It's not just calling, it's reading. The sky, the water, the pressure. Ducks land into the wind, always. Overcast skies, hide your movement. High pressure, they rest. Falling pressure, they fly. Cold fronts bring magic. Watch radar like religion. Be there when it drops and you'll see flocks for miles. Mental toughness. You wait. You freeze. You second guess, but still you wait. You tell yourself it's just one more minute, then another, and another, until finally, wings break horizon, and it's all worth it. The best duck hunters aren't lucky, they're patient. Rules, respect, and responsibility. Duck hunting isn't just fun, it's regulated for a reason.
Shoot with purpose.
Never fire just to say you did. Never kill what you won't eat. Never leave what you can retrieve. Be the hunter you'd want your kid to learn from. Model restraint, model patience, model gratitude. Legacy of the marsh duck. Hunting isn't about killing, it's about connecting. To the land, to the tradition, to something older than you. Support wetlands, fund conservation, teach newcomers, pass it down. Because one day, when the birds stop flying and the marsh falls quiet, you'll sit in the stillness and ask, did I do it right? Not, how many did I shoot? But, how many did I honor? And that makes all the difference. It's still dark when you rise. The world is silent, asleep, but you move with quiet purpose. You shoulder your gear, every strap and buckle already second nature. You splash through the cold, ankle-deep water, boots cutting ripples into a black mirror of marsh. You reach the blind in silence. No lights, no talking, just breath misting in the air, the distant rustle of wings you can't see yet, and the familiar creak of settling in. Why do you do it? It's not for the meat. It's not for the kill. It's something deeper, older than instinct, something you can't explain to people who've never watched the world wake up in camouflage and mud. The silence before the sky wakes out here. The silence isn't empty, it's alive. Even the wind seems to hold its breath, as if the marsh is waiting with you. You hear a single whistle, a lone note slicing through the fog, then the whisper of wings. You lift your head, eyes scanning gray sky for silhouettes. There's no phone buzzing, no meetings, no screens, no schedules. Just breath, heartbeat, and cold steel resting in your hands. Duck hunting slows time. It peels away distraction. It reconnects you, not just to the land, but to something elemental, to tradition, to humility, to yourself. A ritual, not a hobby. This isn't just sport. It's not a pastime. It's a ritual. Every movement, silent and deliberate, speaks of discipline passed down across generations. You learn to watch rather than chase, to read the wind, not command it, to listen more than speak, to wait long past comfort, long past doubt. And in that stillness, something in you shifts. You stop trying to control nature. You begin to belong to it. You're not the hunter. You're just one more part of the dawn. You never forget your first. The first duck, the first shot, the first splash, the first time someone whispers, "Take 'em," and your body reacts before your mind catches up. You feel adrenaline, but not triumph. You feel the weight of what you've done, but not regret. There's no cheering, no high five. You walk through the shallows to retrieve it, the legacy you build. One day, someone younger will ask to come along. They'll fumble through gear, ask 100 questions, forget their gloves. You'll watch them shiver, complain, and stare out at the empty sky. And still you'll smile, because they're beginning the same journey you did. You'll show them how to walk softly, how to set decoys, how to sit still, And maybe, years later, they'll be the one in the blind, passing it on again. Because to hunt ducks is to wake early, to leave no trace, to carry more than a shotgun. It's to come home, sometimes with nothing in your hands, but something fuller in your chest. One shot at meaning. This isn't about trophies or tally marks. It's not about how many ducks you bring home. It's about what you leave behind when you go. The footprints in the mud, the stillness you carried, the reverence you felt. Because duck hunting isn't just about wild game. It's about finding something that can't be bought, something that can't be hurried, something that can't be streamed or scrolled past. It's about being there, truly there, before the sun crests the horizon. Out there, in the reeds, beneath a sky not yet lit, you don't just find ducks, you find yourself.